The biggest lie we are ever told is that we must look outside of ourselves. We search for inner fulfillment through external things. We strive for more, thinking that once we achieve it, we will finally be able to fill that void inside of us. And to a certain extent, it's true. You always have to be pursuing something within life if you truly want to feel fulfilled. But the problem comes with waiting until you achieve that thing to be able to allow yourself to feel successful or to feel loved or to feel as if you are enough. And you continue to put that feeling out in front of you. So now that you are chasing after your goals, you are not doing it from the purest intentions. You're doing it from a state of lack, a state of need. And this causes you to not feel successful, even with all of the things that you've achieved. You've built the business, you've built the body, you've got the girl, you've got all of the material things that you believe or believed would be able to make you feel whole inside. But every time you've achieved something, you still feel that gap. And instead of you sitting with your thoughts and really trying to figure out why it's there, you look for some external thing to be able to fill that void. And I know this because for a very long time, I would obsess over self help books. I would obsess over tactics and all these different things, thinking that if I find this one thing that will finally be able to make me feel whole, that will finally be able to make this entire business to come together, or that will finally make me feel as if I am enough, then it will magically just fix my life. But the more that I've delved into tactics and books and different things like that, the more it just built that gap because it would tell me all these things that I already knew were true, but because I would never allow myself to sit with my thoughts long enough to implement them, I kept thinking, there's no way this can actually be real. There's no way it can actually be that simple. You're telling me that this dark hole that I felt with inside of me for ages, that I have not been able to bridge my entire life, the way for me to be able to fulfill it or get past it was within me the whole time. It was like, no, I didn't want to accept it. And a lot of the times, people who are successful act the same exact way. They continue to tell themselves that, like, the success that they've gotten within business, within sports, within their dating life, or whatever it is a thing that people are attracted to. And so they continue to strive and force themselves to go after these bigger goals again, not out of like the need to impact other people, but out of a need to try and feel worthy. And so they continue to postpone that feeling until they believe that they get to their North Star. And eventually everything is going to magically make sense. And it's like, this happens at every stage of the game. In the very beginning, you tell yourself, oh, well, whenever I'm successful, I'll be able to make more friends that are more aligned with like who I am. You tell yourself that whenever you're successful, you'll finally feel as if you're proud of yourself. You'll finally feel as if you are good enough. And it's like whenever you get to the end of the journey as well and you achieve all these materialistic things, then you go straight back to the same question of just like, why do I feel this hole within inside of me? And then you're forced to go internally anyways. I was listening to a podcast not too long ago between Chris Williamson and Russ, and even the Alex Hormozy and Tony Robbins podcast. And Russ and Alex Hormozy are two people who have achieved substantial success, like things that most people can only dream of. But once they achieved it, they realized, like, oh, I still don't feel fulfilled. I still feel as if there's something missing. And it's because You can never fill a hole internally with something that you achieve externally. And so, yes, being able to have that North Star goal, having something that you are always striving for, something that is always forcing you to develop yourself into becoming a better version of you, stepping into that new character is important. But you have to be able to have something that will remind you of the progress that you've already made within the journey and how that has developed you into the person that you are now. And so, even though you are not this version of you that you see in your head whenever you close your eyes or you remind yourself in the morning, that you can still be proud of who you are because of what you've already been able to accomplish. And why that is important is because whenever you start acting not out of desperation, but out of creation, out of the want to impact, out of helping others, then what you create is way more potent. It's more you. You're able to be more authentic. You're able to not be as stressed out as you go throughout your day. And it just helps you be able to show up the way that you need to be able to continuously grow and achieve these new goals that you set for yourself. And so, if you are somebody who has achieved some level of success and everybody around you tries to compliment you and it just feels as if they are landing on just like an empty slate and like you don't actually accept it or you don't believe that you deserve the accolades that you've achieved or that people really mean it whenever they say like how proud of you they are, then it's because you haven't allowed yourself to really look at the things that you've been able to accomplish and accept that you are where you are because of the work that you put in. And there's a caveat to this as well, because you are the only person that knows how hard you worked at something. And so if you've gotten to a point where you are successful to other people's standards, but you don't feel like it, and it's because you know that you haven't put your all into it, there's something that is stopping you from allowing yourself to fully be able to go after the things that you want. And that inner resistance comes from either the desperation of the need to be able to achieve something, the fear that whenever you achieve something, you're not going to feel the way that you expect you to, or the need to be able to try and keep things the same. And it's like, those are three of the main buckets, but each and every single one of them are all tied to something internal. And you can only fix that gap or that hurdle by turning inwards, by listening to your inner voice and allowing yourself to really just pick apart like what makes you you. What have you done within your life that you can actually be proud of? And you have to have a way to be able to continuously track this. That's why every day and every night, and it's a part of my align and design process now, what I do is I wake up in the morning and I read my daily SOPs. What my daily SOPs are just three things that I know if I do this every single day, or at least for this day, it will move me closer to where I want to go. And then at the end of the night, I check off, do I do it or do I not? And if I do it, then it was a good day. And I allow myself to think about the wins that I had throughout that day that make me feel fulfilled, that make me know that I am continuing on the journey in the correct way. And whenever I do that, it allows me to accept where I am, but still be able to acknowledge where I'm going. Because whenever you start the journey, if your entire intention is on you getting to the end, you miss the most important part of the whole process, and that is falling in love with the person you become throughout the process. I've said this a million times and I will say it again because this is how I structure my life. This is what I teach all of my clients. This is the thing. It's like within the hero's journey, there's two journeys that they go on. It's the one to be able to achieve the external thing, save the world, grab the key, get the princess, whatever it is. But that internal journey that they have to go through to be able to be the version of them that can achieve this external thing, that's the most important thing. And for you to be able to really accept the progress that you make, not only on the external, but on the internal as well. You have to have a way to be able to track it, to slow yourself down and be like, this is where I'm at within the process. And I am proud of myself for getting here, even though I know I have a lot more to go. And when you do that, it allows you to build your self efficiency and continue along the journey that you have to go on. Because if you truly want to make the impact that you want, that you were put on this earth to make, you're going to have to give it time. And most of the time, it's a long time for you to really get to the pinnacle of what you can achieve, to the peak of the mountain. And so, for you to continue to pursue it, you have two motivations that you can use. You can use the one that's like, once I get here, I'll finally be enough. Or you can have the one that is just like, I am proud of the person that I'm becoming throughout this entire journey. And one of them leaves you with a hole that when you get to the top of the mountain, you realize you still have to deal with. And the other one allows you to be able to deal with it head first and put your full effort into becoming the version of you that you need to be able to achieve the thing that you want. And so that's all I have for you today. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one.